Hello, my name is Joseph Connor, and I'm happy to be applying to the Walter Scott Jr. Scholarship Program at UNO. I'm currently attending Gross Catholic High School, and I live in Valley, Nebraska, and I am so excited to finally be applying to the Scott Scholarship. Because for the past few years, I have been looking forward to this moment. I've known many people in the program, and they all speak very, very highly of it. They all speak about the amazing opportunities that they've had in their fields because of the program, and everything about it just seems like it would be perfect for me. I participate in robotics, engineering team, and student council, all of which have shown me the immense importance of working as a team. They have taught me that the work I do gains so many benefits from being surrounded by like minded people to share ideas with, delegate tasks and responsibilities, and cooperate to form a final product. And I believe that the Scott Scholarship would give me an amazing opportunity to continue this cooperation because I want to be surrounded by other like minded people who share similar interests and aspirations as me, because I know that not only will it benefit my personal work, but together we can accomplish amazing things. So, getting into the questions. Question number one: a time you were an effective leader. Like I mentioned before, I have served on the student council since the end of my sophomore year, and last year I was elected vice president of the student council. As a whole, it has really broadened my leadership skills and given me excellent opportunities to grow as a leader that I never would have gotten anywhere else. But one of the most impactful leadership moments I've had came last year when we were designing the decorations for the homecoming dance in the gym. The theme was around the world, and for that, we designed a continent to go in each corner of the gym. We wanted a larger decoration piece that would really wow the people that came into the dance, but nothing was really materializing. I was assigned to the Asia corner, and in the course of my research into decoration ideas, I started looking at the Japanese torii gates, the large black and red arches that are often in front of gardens in Japan. I realized that replicating a simple one wasn't only feasible, but it also had the potential to look really amazing in the gym as a standout piece. I made a quick sketch with dimensions and cost estimates and then brought it to our administrator, Mrs. McNamara, and my plan got approved. And after that, I had to start bringing in people to help. I got a few friends who were also on the council to help me go buy our materials and begin cutting them to size and making sure the whole thing wouldn't just fall over once we built it. And I had to use the woodworking knowledge I'd gained from being the stage manager and set designer in the drama department to plan and then delegate and then make this huge wooden arch. In the few days leading up to the dance, I was giving people parts to paint or cut out or assemble while I helped anyone who needed it or did any jobs that needed being done. The arch had to be completed in pieces and then brought in and fully assembled in the gym because it was just too large to move through the doors. So the night before we had to be ready, I led the effort in moving everything in and completing it. Others had to hold the base up while I screwed in the posts and making sure the top beam was perfectly centered, just very careful coordination. But through effective teamwork, it all came together, and it was a huge success for pictures during the dance. It taught me a lot about what it means to be a leader, and how it isn't about just being the loudest voice in the room, but instead the one that can actually get something done. Question number two: what is the most significant challenge you faced? Now, everyone's transition to high school is very different, but I believe that mine had many factors that made it more difficult than most, and I believe that they made it the most difficult thing that I've ever done. I was never a social kid, quite the opposite, in fact. I sat alone at lunch through most of grade school because I didn't really have any friends I felt comfortable around. I was absolutely terrified of talking to new people. It wasn't until middle school that I made a few friends that I would really connect with, but I didn't go any further. In eighth grade, I finally had the thought that I wanted to be more outgoing, to make new friends, and to be someone who could talk to new people. But unfortunately, that was 2020, meaning COVID shut down my school before I was able to do anything about these new desires. But for the time being, I was happy being at home, playing video games with my friends, and reading my books. It wasn't until a couple months before school started that I began to get worried. I was the only one out of my eighth grade class of about 80 to go to Gross Catholic. That meant I was going to know no one going in, which for someone who was terrified of meeting new people, this began to spark a lot of fear and anxiety. It grew and grew until a couple weeks before school started. I sat myself down and I made a commitment. I was going to change. I was going to push myself and talk to anyone I could, no matter how hard it was, because I knew that was the only way I was going to be able to become the person I wanted to be. I would be open and as outgoing as I could, even when it was difficult. So, full school finally started, and I began my transformation. It was every bit as hard as I thought it might be, but I did it. I talked to people I never would have dreamed of, and I began to learn new skills I never had before. I made some mistakes, I had some awkward conversations, but I improved. By the end of freshman year, I felt like a completely new person. That decision I made to overcome my problems was what set me on the path to become the person I am today, a person who I am proud to be. Question number 3. Describe a time you worked collaboratively to positively impact a community, initiative, or organization. I am on the engineering team at Gross, which is a team where we choose a problem in our community that needs solving and then use the engineering process to design a solution and present it to a panel of judges who are engineers. Last year, we decided to improve the lives of the elderly, particularly those in nursing homes. We believe that the elderly are one of the most frequently abused and marginalized groups in America, but they rarely receive any of the attention that they deserve, particularly in relation to nursing homes. Therefore, we wanted to help make an impact and get others thinking about this problem in a more serious and constructive way. We wanted to propose a new design for a nursing home that would more adequately accommodate its residents' needs, but this project was obviously very broad in scope. We had to divide the many different areas of research and other work among ourselves in order to create a good project, so we chose each an area that we thought we excelled at. I believe I am a pretty good writer when it comes to things like this, so I chose to do the bulk of the writing and editing of our project report and presentation slideshow. Others focused things like computer modeling, research gathering, and contacting experts to improve and progress our work. Through this cooperation, we were able to create a compelling presentation on the issues in nursing homes and our solution to them. We even presented to a group of geriatric specialists, including doctors and nurses in the field, and we received a very, very good response. I believe that our project helped everyone involved and everyone who we presented it to become more aware of the problems facing the elderly and what some things are that we can do to solve it. It also showed the specialists that we presented to that the younger generation is paying attention to these problems and wants to solve them. None of it would have been possible without the incredible teamwork our group showed, although there were disagreements along the way. My contribution played a key role in unifying and presenting the work that the rest of the team did, but it would have been useless without them. Overall, it was an incredibly educational experience that taught me a lot about working collaboratively as a team. Question number 4. How are you making, or how do you plan to make, a transformative contribution to society? Society has so many overwhelming problems facing us today. There's wars, homelessness, poverty, hunger, and famine, all problems that feel so impossible to even imagine solving. What can one person do to transform any of that? I think the answer is one person can't, short of the president, I guess. The solution to all these problems starts on a much smaller scale. And whenever I think about how I'm going to make a difference in the world, I think back to in kindergarten, when all I dreamed about was being a doctor. I wanted to be that helpful, loving person who brings healing to so many people. Ever since, I've always wanted to be a part of the medical field. Being involved in that field that has such a direct, tangible impact on the welfare of others has always struck me as being the way I want to transform my own community. I want to be the person that shows kindness and compassion to those I treat. That's always felt like my path to impacting as many other lives as I possibly can. And I firmly believe that this is how we transform our communities and then the world. By spreading examples of kindness and compassion and working towards the betterment of our fellow man, others touched by it will be more likely to do the same. Through my profession in the medical field, I hope to spread these examples to every person I meet. Obviously, that field also comes with very high pay rates, and while that wealth comes with a lot of responsibility to use it wisely. However, in that respect, I have actually been inspired by Walter Scott Jr. He accumulated massive amounts of wealth in his life, but he didn't leave all of it locked up in a estate or a vault somewhere. Instead, you look around Omaha and see his impact everywhere, improving lives every single day. From the aquarium at the zoo to the scholarship I'm applying for right now, his wealth positively impacts and transforms so many lives. And that behavior and selflessness is what I hope to emulate with the wealth I accumulate. Finally, question number 5. What is the most important thing you've learned in high school? This is a hard question, as I feel like I've learned so many life altering things in high school. However, if I were to boil down the most important things I've learned, I think you would get the phrase carpe diem, seize the day. Why? Because high school is full of wonderful opportunities for growth and personal achievement, but it is also full of wonderful distractions to draw you away from them. Relationships and late nights with friends come to mind, and especially today, our phones and social media offer even more ways to avoid doing the things we know that will bring us true personal fulfillment. Obviously, having friends and relationships and free time spent relaxing are all incredibly important parts of being a high schooler, but it's incredibly easy to use them to excess in a way that precludes us from being the people we really want to be. And this is where the concept of carpe diem comes in. I've learned just how powerful the mindset of seizing the day can be, as it allows me to live with a purpose that actually fulfills me. Up until high school, in many ways, I was coasting. I got good grades, but I didn't really apply myself to my work. I was involved in robotics and trap shooting, but I didn't feel super attached to either one because I felt like doing other things like video games or reading were more enjoyable and therefore more important. However, when I look back on my childhood, the things that truly gave me the most enjoyment and fulfillment was competing in trap shooting and robotics. And the moments I enjoyed most from school was when I went above and beyond on a project or an essay, and I received praise for it. In my time in high school, I've learned this lesson through the sheer joy that I've had after I joined a new activity. I was a little nervous to do so and really enjoyed my time with it. Or when I put in the hours to robotics or academic decathlon and we succeeded. Additionally, the hours I've spent applying myself to my schoolwork have actually paid off. I've spent hours and hours studying for the ACT and PSAT, and today I'm proud to have a 36 on my ACT and be a national merit semifinalist. None of this would have come to me without seizing the day, and I've learned to treat every opportunity as a precious way to live my life to the fullest. And without having learned all of this, I probably would still be coasting through life to this day, and probably wouldn't even be completing this application right now. Thank you all so much for watching my video. This has been such an exciting part of my life, and thank you so much again for this opportunity. I look forward from hearing from all of you soon. Have a great day.